Disappointed, but not surprised. That is how many in the cruise industry are describing Ottawa's decision yesterday to extend the ban on cruise ship visits to Canada for another year. It was set to expire at the end of this month, but now it's not. And businesses that rely on visitors from those ships coming into port are facing another season with far less traffic. We're following that story for you as we look live, in fact, at Halifax and a beautiful view of Pier 21. Brett Ruskin is on the story, and as I said, gauging reaction. How much of an impact will this have, Brett, on tourism where you are?
Well, Heather, it really is a big impact. And as you said, not necessarily a surprising announcement considering what we saw with cruise ships and considering global case counts of COVID-19. But let's talk about really the benefit that the cruise ship industry had here in Halifax. Also, there were benefits on the West Coast with that industry there. But specifically for Halifax, in 2019, pre-pandemic, we saw 190 or so ships that came to Halifax. That's about 320,000 passengers that arrived here in Halifax, visited restaurants, went on tours, bought souvenirs, things like that. 320,000. That's like Saskatoon. That's like everyone in Saskatoon coming to Halifax to spend their tourism dollars here. So a big impact, most certainly, to no longer have that influx of tourism dollars. And so again, that is something that many, shops and businesses and industries along the waterfront rely on. And so they've been, having a tough go of it last year. And now it's looking like it will be another year of difficulty without that influx of cruise ship passengers. Heather.
And in terms of reaction, you mentioned, Brett, not a whole lot of surprise, but several port officials are talking now about this extended ban. And what are they saying?
Well, yeah, so we're going to hear now from kind of the East Coast and the West Coast from port officials reacting to this ban, to this announcement from the federal government. Here's what we heard from Halifax and then over from Victoria. Have a listen.
The situation with COVID right now is such that it's just not safe to move forward at this time.
I was surprised that it's been extended out as far as it has, but it's a significant blow for us as an organization. And also, I think about the operators. That said, the health and safety of Victoria residents is paramount.
And so again, one other thing to mention is that the Port of Seattle, Washington, just south of the border on the West Coast, put out a statement recently. We have that there, just talking about how they respect the Canadian government's decision because they have some cruises that head up the West Coast, stop at some Canadian West Coast ports before making their way up to Alaska. They say they will respect that. They will not send their ships to Canada, essentially. Now, there's one other major side of all of this, is that here in Nova Scotia, for example, we still have, among the lowest rates of COVID-19 just about anywhere. And so one of the benefits, or one of the reasons why we have that is because we have been, controlling who can come and go without quarantining, without that 2-week self-isolation. And having cruise ships come and visit flies in the face of that. And so while it is certainly an economic hit for those industries and for those businesses that rely on that cruise ship business, it is undeniably a safer situation without having people from anywhere around the world coming to visit ports here in Halifax or, elsewhere in the country as well. So a tough decision economically, but one that was made essentially for the safety of general populations here. Heather.
Okay, Brett, good to see you. Thank you very much for this morning. Brett Ruskin.